Hvaležno pozdravljeni danes, torej v moji družbi Matjaž Obranovič in pa osebno David Icke. Lepo pozdravljeni, dobrodošli. Welcome in Slovenia.
Thank you.
So, in your opinion, who is really behind terrorism?
Well, to explain that, I think we need to look at a massive technique of mass manipulation, because if you are going to dictate the direction of billions of people, you can't do it physically with tanks in the street. You can do that in a small area, but you can't do it globally. The way you dictate the lives of billions is you get them to see the world the way you want them to see it. And so basically it's a psychological game, what I call the perception deception. So one of the most powerful of these techniques is what I call problem reaction solution. You want to change the world in some way. Say, for instance, in relation to terrorism, you want to justify more and more surveillance, more and more deletion of privacy, more and more of what the CIA has been exposed as doing, surveillance through the television and smartphones. And you know that if that was done openly, this is what we're going to do, there would be a big reaction against it. What do you need to do that for? What are you keeping surveillance on everybody for? So instead of doing it that way, you play problem reaction solution. At stage one, you create a problem which is designed to get the solution that you want. So if you want to impose a surveillance state, then you've got to frighten people into believing that although they don't want a surveillance state, it's necessary to protect them. So what do you do in this problem reaction solution? You create terrorism. The classic, of course, was the horrific events of 9/11, the official story of which is it's a fairy tale. The official story is a joke when you actually investigate it. And let us not forget, by the way, that the very same people, Bush, Blair, and those administrations, that told us there were weapons of mass destruction in Iraq when they knew they weren't, that was a problem reaction solution to justify the invasion of Iraq. Those same people gave us the official story of 9/11. And it's extraordinary that the mainstream media around the world accepts that they were lied to about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, but accept the official story of 9/11, which came from the same people. I mean, hello? So if you can create a terrorist attack and blame someone else for it, the mainstream media, if you look at it around the world, takes what the government says is the explanation of this event and passes it on to the public, to stage two. What you're looking for at stage two is the reaction. And if you look at 9/11, you look at the reaction. It was understandably horror, it was fear, it was what's going on. And what they're looking for at this point is the response of, this can't go on, something must be done, what are you going to do about it? And then those that covertly created the problem and blame someone else, then responding to do something, openly offer the solutions to the problems they've covertly created. And so if you look at 9/11 as an example, that justified the so-called war on terror. And all this mayhem and catastrophe in the Middle East was justified by 9/11. Without 9/11, none of that could have happened, because there wouldn't have been an excuse for it. So manufactured terrorism is one of the major ways, certainly in recent years, that the justifications have been created to take away the most basic freedoms from people, justified by protecting people from terrorists.
So terrorism is only a tool for something else?
Yeah, I mean, are there real terrorists? Of course. Do they exist on the scale and with the sophistication of some of the things we've seen? No. I mean, you know, when you've got long-time intelligence insiders saying about 9/11, for instance, that could not possibly have happened without the cooperation and coordination of at least one major intelligence agency. You know, these things are there to get us to see the world in a certain way so that we will accept the world changing as a result of that. And what I've been doing all these years is taking these official stories and saying, well, hold on, yes, it might be true. Let's see if it's true. And like I say, when you break down the official story of 9/11, it's ridiculous. If that's true that they say, then that can't be true. If that's true, that can't be true. I'll give you an example. The lead hijacker on 9/11 was said to be Mohammed Attar, this extreme Muslim. Well, he had a white American girlfriend. His favorite food was pork. He often got drunk, and he was regularly using cocaine. And one of the things his girlfriend says, when she revealed this, was that he used to go, because they lived in Venice, you know, Venice Airport, where the people trained on one-engine Cessnas to fly wide-bodied jets on 9/11. I mean, what? And they lived in Venice, and she said that when they ran out of cocaine, he would go across to Venice Airport and come back with armloads of it. Now, if you do research on another angle, which is the way the CIA runs the global drug trafficking industry, why does it do that? Because it creates vast amounts of money that it can use to spend on these fake manipulated events, which do not go through official channels, so can't be traced in the paperwork. It's called the black budget, that's what they call it. And Venice Airport was, at least at the time of 9/11, one of the major CIA drug conduits, bringing drugs in from South America into America to Venice Airport, and then they'd go out onto the streets of America. So when Attar's girlfriend talks about him going to Venice Airport and coming back with armloads of cocaine, that fits exactly with what the CIA were doing through Venice Airport. What did I say? The CIA. The CIA is involved with Attar? What? I thought the CIA were trying to stop terrorism. When you break down the surface and see what's underneath, the world is very different to what we've been told it is.
So who is staying behind these planning wars? Military, royal families, Illuminati, dark cabal?
Yeah, it's a massive story. This is why, you know, when I talk at events, I talk for 10 hours with about 1,600 illustrations, because the version of everything that we're given, if you look at the education system, you look at the mainstream media, look at mainstream everything, science, medicine, anything, we're given such a tiny, tiny band of information and knowledge and perception of reality. And when you just open your mind and you go outside those tram lines, it's like nothing's like we're told it was. And when you then start to uncover who's really controlling everything, it's not the people we see. It's one of the things that I say to people, you know, don't get caught with here today, gone tomorrow politicians. Because if you do, you're looking at the oil rags, if you like, not the engineers of global events. Bush comes, goes. Obama comes, goes. Trump comes, he'll go.
Who stays?
That's the question. The question is, who is always there, so that one agenda for the world goes on unchanged, no matter who the puppets in the White House or the government building are. And then when you therefore really get deep into it, you find that if you could think of a spider's web, and in the center is the spider, that's well into the hidden, well away from the public eye. And in the middle is this spider. This is directing the operation and the direction of the world. Around the spider are strands in the web that represent, very close to the spider, the most exclusive secret societies. Many of them at that level don't even have names. It makes them harder to identify. Then as you come out from the spider, you come into the secret societies that we do know about, into the Freemasons, Opus Dei, Knights of Malta, Knights Templar.
Skulls and Bones.
Yeah, Skull and Bones, exactly, in America. Skull and Bones, a secret society in America. Its headquarters is right next to Yale University. And in 2004, I mean, it's a very exclusive small club. And what you do with the Skull and Bones is you are initiated into it, and you pledge your allegiance above all else to the Skull and Bones and its agenda. In 2004, George Bush, Skull and Bones member, went for the presidency against John Kerry, Skull and Bones member. It's a very, very rarefied atmosphere when you get to that level of all this. So you hit those secret societies we do know about. Skull and Bones is less well known. And then you hit what I call the cusp organizations in the web. And these are things like the Bilderberg Group, the Council on Foreign Relations in America, the Trilateral Commission, etc., the Club of Rome, which was created in the 60s to manipulate the environment as an excuse to change society. And these cusp organizations are the point in the web where the hidden meets the seen. And these are gatherings of politicians, of intelligence people, bankers, corporate leaders, all these different media people, coordinating a collective direction, a collective policy, if you like, over a lot of policy areas. Then through those cusp organizations, we enter that level of the web, which is the world of the seen. We see government agencies, governments, the banking system, corporations, global media organizations. And in the world of the seen, in this web, the public appear to see decisions being made that are changing society, being made by the organizations they can see. Oh yeah, the government's decided this, or this agency's decided that, oh the banks have decided to do this. In fact, all that is coming from the spider, from deep in the hidden, and it plays out in the scene.
So who is the spider?
The spider in the end, this would always
is it human?
No, it's not. It always takes a lot of people back because, within these small parameters of possibility, they don't include, although many people, do think about this, but the official story of reality that we're given through the education system and the media doesn't include the fact that in the great forever, in the great eternity, there might actually be intelligent life that's not human. I mean, hello? And when I was going along this road of going deeper and deeper and deeper in the rabbit hole, through all these levels that I'm talking about, suddenly you start to hit the fact that behind if you like, the human level of this manipulation is a non-human force. And when I talk about the hidden, I mean literally the hidden from human sight, because we can't really understand the world of the seen unless we understand the world that we can't see. And when you think about this, according to mainstream science, the electromagnetic spectrum is about 0.005% of what they say exists in the universe, in energy, mass, matter, and all the rest of it. Visible light, which is the only frequency band that we can see, is a tiny fraction of the 0.005%, which brings us to this realization. Almost the entirety of what exists in the great forever, we can't see.
We're blind.
But this is the point. The programming of mass perception is such that most people can only perceive reality within the band of visible light, within the realm of the five senses. the question is, can I hear it? Can I touch it? Can I taste it? Can I see it? If I can't, it can't exist. When the great entirety, virtually, of existence exists beyond that five-sense realm. And one of the great foundations of mass human control is to hold people's perception of reality and perception of possibility within that tiny band of visible light. So anything outside it cannot exist. So when people like me talk about entities manipulating our reality, the reality of visible light from outside the realm of the seen, it's like, that guy's mad. What do you mean?
What he's on.
But this is the point. The reason they say that is because although what I've just said about the entirety virtually of reality being unseen to the human eye, where is that taught in the schools? Where is that appearing as a matter of course in the mainstream media? I mean, just people ask themselves that. Why is this kept from us? Why is this basic understanding of reality itself kept from us? Because we have to have our attention in there, otherwise our minds will open. And that's one of the reasons they try to suppress knowledge and evidence of extraterrestrial visitations. Because imagine, you're there, that's your perception of reality, and then suddenly non-human life exists, and that's revealed to you. What's your mind going to do? Your sense of reality, it's going to explode open. They don't want that. They want us here.
They want us to stay blind.
To stay asleep. And what I've found as I've gone on this world tour, particularly, I mean, I've been doing this now for nearly 30 years, but particularly since I started this particular world tour in the summer of 2016, the number of people who are now starting to do that is extraordinary compared with what I've seen before.
Thank you for all the information you gave us.
Thank you.
Takole, torej še bomo kaj nadaljevali, še kakšne informacije pa najdete na klepet@kavi.si, kjer se lahko tudi prijavite na elektronske novice, povsem brezplačne in takšne, ki jih zagotovo ne boste videli in slišali nikjer drugje. Torej klepet@kavi.si.